It's Thursday and I finally read Hank's books. Why aren't these books the same size? This was perfect. This is so annoying to read. But I decided to completely body shame this book, and I will only talk about the first one because I don't have the time to talk about both of them. Before we really start with my thoughts on this book, I wanted to tell you I have this subject where I have to learn how to assess behavior, and you have to kind of do a project on yourself, and you could choose whatever behavior you like. So I decided to measure the behavior of turning a page while reading, so I was not procrastinating while reading this. I didn't have to feel bad about it, but that kind of led to an awkward talk with my professor when I had to present my results, because afterwards he asked me, well, what did you read? And I told him, I read an absolutely remarkable thing, and he was like, yeah? I was like, oh no, that's the name of the book. And then he asked me what it was about. I have to save time, so I basically told him it's a book about a girl who accidentally finds some alien thing and becomes famous because she discovered it, and then this thing somehow infects all of humanity with a dream where you have to solve puzzles and riddles to find out what they are, and then somehow she dies, but she doesn't. And he just looked at me and was like, okay, who's next? The next thing I want to talk about is a conspiracy theory, because you might remember that from time to time I'm babysitting the child of our neighbor. Usually she walked into my room and picked up this book every time, and I do not know why, because the cover doesn't look special or anything and she can't read. But this time she picked up an absolutely remarkable thing instead, and I noticed that this is written by Karl May. And this book is about the corals, and the main character is called April May, which is funny, by the way. I don't know what that child is trying to tell me, but it's kind of freaking me out. But now I actually want to talk about the book because I enjoyed it a lot. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the writing style and the characters, and it was quite witty, and the story was interesting. And I have a lot of thoughts on it. One of the things I really loved about the books is that Hank seems so effortless with writing diverse characters. There were black people, there were Asian people, there were gay people, bi people, there were a lot of women. It's just a very diverse story, and it doesn't seem like he only wrote these characters in to show you, oh look, I have diverse characters, but he actually it just comes across very naturally, and I really like that. And also, there's a lot of subtle feminism and racism awareness going on, which I really enjoyed. What I mean with that feminism thing was just that the main character was female, the president was female, the scientist especially was female. And about the racism thing, one of the quotes I really liked was, every black person who spends time with a lot of white people eventually ends up being asked to speak for every black person. And this is just true, I think. And also he speaks up about victim blaming, for example, and a lot of other things. Whether it was intended or not, I felt like it had a deeper meaning. Oh, and the whole thing about the dream. I love the quote, for the first time ever, humanity literally shared a dream. I loved how it brought people together. And whenever I read about that dream, I kept thinking that is definitely something you would love, and you need that dream. And I feel like there were also a lot of similarities to Nerdfighteria, especially with the sum where the dreams get discussed, and also with the whole video making thing with the Vlog Brothers channel. There was one quote which said something like, I'm so sick of this book and also we have videos to make, and that just sounded like something that Hank would say whenever he gets annoyed writing this book. And there were also a lot of similarities to the life of Elon Musk. There were many little things, like when she's on that wedding and doesn't want to be there and stuff like that. Similar things happened in Elon Musk's life, and I don't know whether I just noticed this because I recently read his biography, or if Hank intended to have the similarities in his book. I would love to know, but I think I will never find out. Of course, I had to look up the Twitter account, April Maybe Not. I expected an Easter egg, but I was disappointed. It was not very interesting, even though Hank and John follow that Twitter account. I really like the acknowledgements, which I usually don't, But I don't know, I just had to smile reading them. There is only one thing that I did not get, and maybe I was just too tired when I was reading this. When April is in hospital and the president comes to visit her. That was the second time someone tried to kill her, but nobody knew about the first time. But the president said that she knows about the first time, and they didn't talk about it. Maybe I just missed or misunderstood something. But if you noticed it too or have any opinion on it, then feel free to tell me, because I am confused. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit everything I wanted to tell you in the video once again, so just read the description. And Laura, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on Tuesday.